Hi friends, how y'all doing? I hope you're all well. Oh, bless you. My dog's sneezing. Here in Ohio, all the schools are closed until further notice. Yesterday, they closed all the restaurants. They closed all the bars. The stores are still open. So I really feel bad for the people that make a living in those fields. I know most people that are in those fields don't make that much money to begin with, and if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have a paycheck, that can go south really quickly. So I don't know. I feel bad for those people. I hope something gives pretty soon so that everybody can get back to normal, because this is just crazy. It's like you're in a movie or a bad dream or something. I don't know. But anyway, I think those of us that don't have to go out to work and have prepared a little bit, I hope you have, that so it won't be such a hardship on you. But anyway, enough about that. Always focusing on it isn't good either. It's not good for your mental health. So I've been, most of the afternoon, I went on Pinterest. And I've been looking around on Pinterest, and I want to clean out my closet of tops, where I have all my shirts and jackets and all those things. And I wanted to come up with some ideas because I know what I have in there. And I was looking on Pinterest to see what kind of outfits I could make with something similar to what I already have in my closet. It's kind of like shopping your closet, but I wanted to do the Pinterest thing before I actually got into the closet, so that I had some idea of those things that I really wanted to keep that I could do something with, and those things that maybe I don't want to keep. So I guess we all have to kind of come up with some projects, because they want people that are over 60, or is it 65? Not that it matters that much, but we're supposed to stay, like, self-isolate, which is okay with me. You know, I have plenty to do here. In fact, I have so much to do here, I could probably self-isolate for a year and still not get through all my projects. But that wouldn't be any fun. So I think it's a good idea if maybe, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make myself a list of things that I can do so that I don't get bored. And you might want to try that too. Now's a good time to come up with projects that you've always wanted to do. If you wanted to take an online class, now would be a perfect time. There's a lot of things that you can learn online, or if you have a big huge stack of magazines laying around that you haven't gotten around to looking through, you can look through those. You can make yourself a recipe book. You pull out some of those recipes from the magazines. And if you have some of those sleeves, those clear plastic sleeves, that would work. Otherwise, just punch some holes and make yourself a cookbook. Look through and the fashion part of it, and do what I'm going to do with my closet and come up with some really cool outfits. You could do that. You could also just read the articles that you've been wanting to read and haven't gotten around to. So I still have plenty of magazines. I got rid of stacks and stacks of them last fall because somebody in the neighborhood had posted that they needed magazines for some projects that they were doing. So I took all the magazines to their house and dropped them off. So I did that, and I think I'm going to get back to doing some beading. And I have a bunch of yarn that I bought, and I always had the idea of maybe making some kind of a sweater or a wrap of some kind, or maybe a shawl or something, and then making some jewelry to match with it. So I think I might do that and then see what I come up with. It's a good time to waken up your creative energy and get some of those things done that you've been dreaming about doing or wanting to do. Or you could start journaling about the whole situation. Who knows, maybe down the road you'll have enough information and things in your journal that you could write a little book. Just a thought. It would also be a good time to binge watch your favorite TV shows or movies that you've been putting off because you haven't been able to do that. Or you could make like a dream board, a vision board, and cut out more things out of your magazines of maybe trips you'd like to take, or if you're dreaming about doing some redecorating in your home, you could cut those things out and make a memory board or a vision board out of those and start working on those things. Do some DIY flips of the stuff you already have in your house, since it's probably not a real good time to go to thrift stores. I don't know. But you can DIY your own things. And then maybe you'll love them again. You can organize your pictures, photographs, make a scrapbook if you're so inclined, or just put your photographs in order however you like. I know we all probably have some photographs in a box somewhere that are just waiting to be organized. So that's a project that you might be able to do. Now would be a good time to do some batch cooking. That way when you're out and about again and you're not home as much, you'll have your meals all set. So it'd be a great time to do that and store the things in your freezer. You could put your winter clothes away if you live in a climate like I do, where you still have your boots and your coats in your closet. You could clean all your boots, get those ready to put away, wash up your jackets that you're not going to be wearing anymore, get those stored away. Or you could change all your bedding up and put something spring-like on your bed if you have more than one set. What I used to do years ago, for every season I would have something different. I don't do that anymore, but I'd have different bedding or, different dishes or towels or whatever. You could do that, or start your spring cleaning early. It's not too early for that yet. Change out your furnace filter first, and then start your spring cleaning. That way, when it is time to go outside, and you'll be all set and ahead of the game. You could start planning your garden. Look through some of your gardening magazines if you have any, or look online. Go look on Pinterest and print off some pictures. And you can dream about your garden and how you want to do it. And, if you have a nice patio or a balcony, and you want to do a balcony garden, you can already start planning for that, and you could start sowing your seeds inside. Now's the time to do that, so that when the time comes, you'll be all set and ready to go outside and get that done. The weather here is going to be in the 40s and 50s now. It still does go down into the 30s at night. So it's too cold to actually go out and do any gardening, other than maybe cleaning up, you know, all the debris from the fall and the winter that you didn't get to before the snow fell. But, you know, you can certainly start a window garden. You can start a little garden of your scraps, your celery, or your green onions. There's a whole bunch of plants that are groceries that you can cut off the bottom and root and regrow. I'm regrowing some green onions now. So you could do that. Have a little indoor garden until it's time to go outside, and then at that point you can plant the things outside. You could reinvent some of your clothes. There's YouTube channels that do that. They buy thrift store clothes and then they totally revamp them. If you don't know how to sew, you can learn how to sew online if you have a sewing machine, or, you know, some things you can do by hand and just a pair of scissors. You just cut things out, and you can make like cold shoulder t-shirts, that kind of thing, where you really don't even need to sew it. You just need to sort of reinvent it. And if you do sew, I know I have a bunch of pants and things that, you know, they need a button, or they need to be shortened, or, you know, they don't quite fit right. So that's something that I can do and get caught up on that. I have so many things, honestly, that I could get caught up on. It's unbelievable. Now's a good time to start if you have an attic or a basement that needs to be cleaned up, or a garage. It's getting warm enough where you can go up in your attic. My attic isn't heated, but the heat does go up there. So it's a good time to go up there before it gets too hot and look through all those things and get a donation box going. So you could do that, or get your garage straightened out, and then you can call the people that come around and pick things up, and you don't even have to go out of your house. I don't know if they're still doing that, but at least, you know, once they're up and running again, then you can get all your donations out. But pick a place, you know, in your house, one room, and get some boxes and or bags. Garbage bags work just fine too if you don't have boxes, and get all your donations ready, and you'll be ahead of the game in the springtime too. So did you guys stock up on a lot of things? Were you out in the stores and stocking up? Let me know below what you guys were doing. And were you able to get some toilet paper? That'd always be a good thing. But, you know, there's a lot of things you can use if you don't have toilet paper. It's not really that big a deal. You can use an old phone book. You can, you know, that has a lot of pages in it. You can cut it up a little bit. You can use an old phone book. You can use Kleenex. You can use paper towels. You can use newspapers. You know, I mean, really any paper thing will do. Or if you're really desperate, just get a washcloth and keep a bucket with bleach next to your potty, and you can use that and just put the wash rags in there, you know, until you're ready to wash them in the wash machine. And then just dump them in there and wash them a couple times, and you're good to go. And if you don't have enough wash rags, if you have some old towels, you can cut those up and you can use those. So it doesn't have to be toilet paper. Just be mindful of what you can actually put down your toilet and what you're not supposed to put down the toilet, because not all paper products are meant to be flushed. So you don't need a plumbing problem on top of everything else. So just look it up and see what you can actually flush. If you have rubbing alcohol or peroxide or anything like that, you can make your own disinfecting wipes out of a roll of paper towels. You just cut it in half and find yourself a container that'll hold the paper towels and pour whatever liquid you're going to use to do that, whether it's bleach that you, of course, dilute some. You don't want to burn your hands, or alcohol. There's lots of YouTube videos that tell you how to do that. And then get yourself a container where half a roll of paper towels will fit and a lid to keep it tight. And you can make your own disinfecting wipes in case your store is wiped out of those. So there's a lot of things that we can do. I know it's a totally different way of life that most of us are not used to. And it takes some adjusting, but we can do this. And check on your old neighbors to make sure that they have enough food, because sometimes they just can't get out, and they don't all have a family either. So check on the old folks, because that could be really bad for them. So I just wanted to come on and say hello, and hopefully you guys are all doing okay, that this hasn't affected you too much, and that everybody will be happy and safe and healthy. All right, my friends. My first hack is a lemon. And I had this lemon in the freezer. I just froze it whole, and I have some limes in there too. And if you ever have too many lemons, just stick them in the freezer. You don't even have to make lemon juice or lime juice. You can put the whole thing in, and then you can even put it in some water. So I'm going to cut this open. Grab a knife here, and it's very, very juicy. As you can see, it's a very juicy lemon. So that's my first hack. If you have too many lemons, just stick them in your freezer. I put them in a plastic bag, kind of get all the air out, and then just put them in the freezer. All right, I'll be back with another hack in a little bit. Well, I thought while I have you here, I would just show you how much juice you get out of them. So, it is a lot of juice. Oh, it squirted all over my camera. Now, you're probably going to have to put this through a little sieve, because it's so soft that some of the lemon pulp comes through. So don't squirt your camera. Just do it gingerly. But you get a lot of juice out of your lemons this way. Oh, there it goes again. Or you could do this, just squeeze it by hand. That would work just as well. But you get most of the juice out of the lemon by doing it this way. There's hardly anything left in the skin. It all comes out. So there you go, fresh squeezed lemon juice right from the freezer. And that is hack number 1. All right, kitchen hack number 2. I dehydrated all these mushrooms, just leaving them open. Hello, in my refrigerator. I didn't do anything else. I just opened the package, left them in there, tossed them around a little bit so that the air could circulate, and I dehydrated all these mushrooms. Then what I do, you can use these to rehydrate and use in recipes, or you can put them in your food grinder and you can make your own mushroom powder. So, and it saves you a lot of money because you can use button mushrooms. These are oyster mushrooms. These are shiitake mushrooms. You can, whatever mushrooms you can find, you can just dehydrate in your refrigerator. And they turn out great. So if you have too many mushrooms, don't let them go to waste. The first thing I do when I come home after I buy mushrooms, I open up the package. Don't leave them in the plastic package. They will decay quicker. You can either store them in a paper bag in your refrigerator, or, you know, if you want to dehydrate them, just leave them in an open container. Even the container that they come in is fine as long as you stir them up every now and then, and your refrigerator does the job for you and dehydrates your mushrooms. So you never need to waste mushrooms again, because I used to waste so many mushrooms because they always deteriorated so quickly and I didn't always get to them. So now I do this, and if you were to buy a bag like this in the grocery store, it would probably cost you $6, $7. Plus that you can make your own mix of mushrooms depending on what you like. So that is hack number 2. Alrighty, make your own kombucha. Another kitchen hack. For those of you that like kombucha, it's so easy. All I have here is I made a nice strong tea this morning. It's just black tea. It's pretty much the cheapest tea I could find. It makes a really strong tea. And I put a cup of sugar in there, brought it to a boil, 8 tea bags. My hands are clean. I'm just going to wring those out. You can put those in your compost. So there we go. Now I'm going to just pour this into my, I like to make the continuous brew kombucha. So I'm going to put that in there, and that's why I have this spigot, because it's very easy to fill my container. So that's what I need. And then my kombucha vinegar has formed its own SCOBY. So this is too sour to drink, but I'm going to use the SCOBY. My other SCOBY, unfortunately, you have to watch it. It's the first time it's ever happened to me where I've actually gotten mold on top. You got to throw that out. But you can tell when it's moldy. It looks fuzzy. So, but this is not moldy. So I'm going to take this SCOBY, and you can get these online on Amazon. They're not that expensive. I think they're about $6 or $7. And I'm going to put that right in the tea. I'm going to add just a little bit of this liquid to get it started. Not more than 1/4 cup. And then I'm going to use the rest of that as vinegar instead of apple cider vinegar. Now I'm going to take some filtered water and I'm going to fill this up to here. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to fill this up to about here. And this is sort of double filtered water. I got this out of my refrigerator, and then I filtered again through this Brita type container. So that's good, about to right there. Now I'm going to let this sit for 10 days. I like it at 10 days. You can do it sooner than that if you like it sweeter. If you like it more tart, you can let it go way longer than that. But keep an eye on it, and like I said, if you see fuzz on the top or funky colors, I mean, a kombucha SCOBY will pick up different colors, but you can tell when it's mold. It's kind of fuzzy. So, but that's all there is to it. Then I put a coffee filter on and secure it with a nice rubber band so that the fruit flies don't get in there. I've had that happen before too, so got to make sure it's closed up tight. And then put it in a dark place. It doesn't like the sun. Put it in a dark place and let it ferment for as long as you like. Now, I personally like my kombucha right from the spout, right like that. And you can do that way and then just continuously refill it. I usually put mine in a container and then stick it in the fridge. I leave a little in the bottom. And I have another video on how I do this. But I personally don't like it fermented as much as I like it just plain. But you can do a second ferment on this and let it sit for another 3-4 days, maybe a week, depending on how fizzy you like it. And that's a whole nother process, and I'll link my kombucha video below where I go into more detail. But I just wanted to show you how simple this is as a kitchen hack and making your own kombucha.
All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I haven't been doing a lot of cooking or anything like that because I still have things in the freezer that I've been using up. So, but in a little bit I'll start cooking again, and I'll make a couple videos of that. I want to make a couple videos of when I'm doing my closet and some of the outfits that I do come up with, just to give some people some ideas if you're not spending money on clothes too, like I am. You know, you can come up with your own fashion. So one good thing about this whole business is staying home, you're not spending money. So that's a good thing, unless you're on Amazon. That's a bad thing. So unless you can afford it, then it's a good thing. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. And I just wanted to come on and say hello. And I want to wish you abundant blessings. Stay healthy. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.